Thank you very much, comrades. It is an honour to address this seminar of the International Central Committee for Songun Study on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, the 110th anniversary of the birth of the great leader, President Kim Il-sung. And our theme today is focusing on President Kim Il-sung's contributions to humanity. And I've written the paper, which is titled An Outstanding Leader of the World Revolution. The late comrade Fidel Castro, the leader and commander of the Cuban Revolution, once wrote as follows: Comrade Kim Il-sung is one of the most distinguished, outstanding and heroic leaders of the present world. His history is one of the most beautiful histories of a revolutionary serving the cause of socialism. End of quotation. And Chairman Mao Zedong of China, towards the end of his life, said to Comrade Kim Il-sung when they met for the last time, about world revolution, no one can lead it except for Kim Il-sung. My sincere request to you, Comrade Kim Il-sung, is to continue and now lead the cause of world revolution and the international communist movement. End of quotation. These words reflect the fact that the great leader, President Kim Il-sung, always paid attention to the question of world revolution right from an early age. When he founded the Down with Imperialism Union on the 17th of October 1926, President Kim Il-sung clearly defined as one of its tasks that it should carry out the world revolution and build socialism and communism throughout the world. Speaking to the foundation meeting of the Down with Imperialism Union, he pointed out, irreconcilable contradictions exist between the imperialists and people in the colonies, and these contradictions are sharpening with the passage of time. Because these contradictions are antagonistic, they cannot be settled by any kind of compromise and will only be solved when imperialism is overthrown. End of quotation. This not only trenchantly exposed the contradictions of imperialism, but showed the correct road of struggle for the people of colonial and dependent countries. President Kim Il-sung founded the Anti-Japanese People's Guerrilla Army in April 1932, which was renamed Korean People's Revolutionary Army in March 1934. And it fought arms in hand for independence against Japanese imperialism. However, it didn't just fight for the independence of Korea, but it was a proletarian internationalist army which contributed to the world revolution. It fought in defense of the Soviet Union, the first workers' and peasant state, in the battles of Lake Khasan in 1938 and Khalkhin Gol in 1939. It also defended the Mongolian People's Republic. Later, after liberation in August 1945, President Kim Il-sung sent the best fighters and cadres of the Korean Revolutionary Army to help the Chinese Communist Party and People's Liberation Army liberate China from the bureaucratic and reactionary rule of the KMT. At the same time, he allowed the People's Liberation Army of China to use People's Korea as a rear base. It is said that one of the 5 stars in the flag of the People's Republic of China represents Korean people. Whilst leading the work of building socialism in the DPRK, President Kim Il-sung paid great attention to the world revolution. The international communist movement and socialist camp experienced severe trials and difficulties owing to the emergence of modern revisionism from the 1950s. Comrade Kim Il-sung opposed both modern revisionism and left opportunism and argued for unity. In works such as Let Us Intensify the Anti-US, Anti-Imperialist Struggle, The Great Anti-Imperialist Revolutionary Cause of the Asian, African, Latin American Peoples is Invincible, and many other works, he put forward the line of struggle against US imperialism and turning the spearhead against US imperialism. He argued strongly against a line of compromise with US imperialism, which was being peddled enthusiastically by the modern revisionists who tried to impose this line on the international communist movement. He pointed out, and this, and I quote, "It is wrong to try and avoid the struggle against imperialism under the pretext that independence and revolution are important, but peace is still more precious. Is it not true that the line of seeking unprincipled compromise with imperialism only intends to encourage its aggressive actions and increase the danger of war? Peace secured by slavist submission is not peace. Genuine peace cannot be achieved unless the struggle is waged against those forces who break peace, unless the slave's peace is rejected and the oppressor's rule overthrown. We are opposed to the line of compromise with imperialism. At the same time, we cannot tolerate the practice of only denouncing imperialism, but in actual fact being afraid to fight it. This is a line of compromise in an inverted form. Both have nothing to do with a genuine anti-imperialist struggle and only help the imperialist policy of aggression and war." End of quotation. Furthermore, he put forward an excellent strategy for world revolution, saying, "We small nations must unite and counter US imperialism's strategy of swallowing us up one, by each of us chopping off its head and limbs. This is the strategy small countries must employ to defeat US imperialism." And in the 1960s and 70s, President Kim Il-sung ensured that the DPRK punched above its weight, giving support to many liberation movements and independent states. For example, in Cuba in 1962, because the threat of war was imminent, many foreign embassies withdrew from Cuba. Comrade Kim Il-sung instructed the DPRK embassy staff and their families to arm themselves and fight to the end. The DPRK actually sent a KPA general to Cuba as its ambassador. DPRK students in Cuba also armed themselves, ready to fight. The DPRK gave political and military assistance while sending food and tractors, as well as a group of technicians. The DPRK also publicly supported the 5-point demands of Premier Fidel Castro, which included the US withdrawal from Guantanamo. The DPRK press denounced Khrushchev for his capitulationism and cowardice. Later, in 1986, the DPRK supplied Cuba with 100,000 automatic rifles at cost price. This was at a time when the Soviet revisionists in the grip of Gorbachev's perestroika were in the process of ending their military assistance to Cuba. President Kim Il-sung called for international volunteers to be sent to Vietnam and sent the best pilots of the Air Force of the Korean People's Army to Vietnam, as well as talent experts and material assistance as well. During the 1973 October War between the United Arab Republic and the Israeli Zionists, a squadron of KPA pilots was sent to assist the Arab people in their fight against Zionist aggression. President Kim Il-sung also supported the Grenadian Revolution. He had DPRK construction experts sent to Grenada, and the DPRK gave a generous amount of aid to the People's Revolutionary Government of Grenada, led by Maurice Bishop. In fact, in per capita terms, the DPRK gave more aid to Grenada than the USSR did. President Kim Il-sung was a great friend of the Third World who sent agricultural technicians and engineers to many Third World countries, such as Madagascar, Tanzania, Togo, Central Africa, Benin, Guinea, Egypt, Rwanda, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and the Seychelles. Agricultural institutes bearing the name of Kim Il-sung were established in Guinea and Tanzania. This was genuine aid as opposed to the fake aid of the imperialists, which aims only to corrupt and enslave newly independent nations. President Kim Il-sung put forward the slogan, "Peoples of the world advocating independence, unite." And in many talks with personalities and activists from throughout the world, he argued for the line of global independence, the line of making the whole world independent. When socialism was frustrated in the former USSR and other European socialist countries owing to modern revisionism, President Kim Il-sung held high the red banner of socialism. He made sure that People's Korea itself continued along the road of socialism and rallied the world revolutionary forces, the international communist movement and socialist forces, to defend and advance socialism by the adoption of the Pyongyang Declaration. The whole life of President Kim Il-sung is associated with anti-imperialism and fighting for global independence. Eternal glory to the memory of the great leader, President Kim Il-sung, outstanding leader of the world revolution. Long live the Juche Idea, long live the Songun Idea, long live People's Korea, long live dear respected Marshal Kim Jong-un. Victory to the Korean people, victory to reunification. Thank you for listening, comrades.